This is the Williams residence, 8915. We're doing a quote for recurring maintenance. This is the front driveway area. That's the garage. So I'm gonna start from here, walk around the property through the backyard, and then we'll look over there and end in front of the property, just kind of going over everything that we're gonna maintain. So starting with the lawn here, we spoke with the customer about the crabgrass and the bent grass, and there is actually even some Bermuda in here as well. I don't know if I could point it out right now, but I did find Bermuda in here. So it is in here. There it is. Yeah, so that right there's Bermuda. It's just been mowed, so it's really short. But there is Bermuda in here. So crabgrass, Bermuda, nutsage, and bent grass. So we are going to maintain it the way it is right now. We're going to fertilize it, and then we are going to do some renovation starting in the fall. We're going to early fall. What we're going to do is we're going to put down, we want to overseed it, so we're not going to do pre-emergent right away. We're going to put down a growth regulator to slow down the growth of the weeds, the whole lawn, and we're going to cut it very short, and then we are going to be overseeding this yard, this lawn. There's a few more lawns. There's one in front right there. We're going to be overseeding it with the tall fescue blend, and as soon as the tall fescue starts germinating, that's when we're going to come in and put down the pre-emergent weed control for the crabgrass, mostly because we don't want that coming back next year. Typical stuff with shrubs, just watch out for volunteers like that come through. Make sure we get that. Make sure we are, when we're trimming shrubs, make sure that we are trimming them in a, let's see, balanced way. So I don't know if this is a good example. This is kind of like a diamond shape. There's some rectangle shapes. We want to make sure that we're making them rounded as far as shapes go. Let's see. You might need to check some coverage in these areas. Make sure that the sprinklers are reaching when the plants are starting to get spent. Right now it's too hot, but we need to cut off the spent blooms on the carpet roses. There are a few Photinia train trees. They're typically shrubs, but they're shaped into trees. So we need to probably 5 times a year during the growing season, we're going to need to be keeping those shapes so they don't get out of control, because Photinias can get up to 25 feet tall. Client did point out things like this where there's just some stuff that didn't get pruned back. Make sure we're taking care of that. This rose next spring needs to be taken down really low because it's got a lot of woody growth on the inside that we need to refresh. These agapanthus are pretty much spent, so we're not gonna trim that right now because it's too hot, but the blooms can be cut off so it doesn't look raggedy. Some more Photinias right here. Need to shape those regularly. So a lot of tall shrubs here. We're gonna need to bring a ladder on a regular basis. Make sure that we're getting these suckers that are growing on the bottom of the trees. I noticed pretty much all the crepe myrtles have that too. We want to make sure we take care of that. A lot of these type of hedges around the lawn areas. So you could see right here, this one is already starting to just encroach onto the lawn area. So as we're trimming it, we definitely want to make sure that we're kind of forcing it back. It wants to be wider, but we want to make sure that it stays back behind this divider. Keep an eye out for things like this. So here, this is a volunteer that hasn't been addressed in a while. Maybe we should probably double check with the client to make sure they want this removed, but we definitely shouldn't just leave it. It's growing from below this Photinia right here. Another example, got looks like a Mexican palm that's coming through. We want to cut that down. Don't let stuff like that grow in. Okay, so very similar situation with the lawn here. We are going to be overseeding this. Yeah, same treatment as the front yard. Some more hedges. We're going to be always making sure that we don't let that get raggedy, just kind of always pruning it back. The height, we're just going to let it go as high as it goes. Looks like some nice sages in here. We'll check with the client. Well, one thing for sure I wanted to point out is see how this sage is growing through this plant. We don't want to let the ground cover grow into the plant, so we're going to create a barrier here. They're going all the way through here. These podosporums, 1, 2, 3, we'll provide a separate quote for removing them because they're infected with a either a whitefly or an aphid. So we're going to recommend removing those. Okay, this guy's pretty spent. Come winter time, it's going to go dormant. We want to cut it down and make it really small so it comes back fresh. We'll add this gardenia. A quote to remove this gardenia because it's dead. The client does his own tree pruning, so we're not going to do any trees with the exception of the crepe myrtles. We are going to take care of the crepe myrtles. Okay. They do have a Labrador Retriever, so like with all our gates, we want to make sure we're always closing them so the dog doesn't get out. And some pretty low maintenance stuff here. Just a lot of the stuff is new, so just taking care of it. We need to check the irrigation to this flax. It looks like it's struggling, probably because of all the heat as well. Okay, some dead plants here. We'll just wait for the client to let us know if he wants us to replace them or what, if he wants to do different plants, so we'll leave that out of the quote for now. The butterfly bushes, definitely we want to clean up the bottoms of them to make sure that all the bloom is growing on top, not on the bottom. Let's see. So it looks like eventually this is going to be somewhat of a hedge, probably right here that we're going to be trimming. Another flax that's struggling over here. Things like this, we want to make sure that we keep an eye out to make sure that they're not blocking the garage doors, so we're going to trim that away. So we're going to exclude all of the unlandscaped areas for now. That's going to be probably like a once or twice a year thing that we're going to do for the client, but for the regular maintenance, we just stop at the landscaped areas. Okay, so quite a few crepe myrtles. I'll go through and just count them here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ornamental grasses, they should be really pruned once a year in the either wintertime or springtime. But throughout maintenance, when they get wide like this, we just want to cut back the size of them and let them grow on top. They just look a lot neater that way. Okay. Some lawn area here. Keeping weeds out of these drainage areas. Some more plants growing through right there. Okay, so crepe myrtle 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like these crepe myrtles were pruned pretty drastically. We're going to contact the customer to see if they want to continue pruning them in this way. You can see they have quite a bit of stress. Maybe they were just pruned a little too late in the season. That's why they're kind of they're growing through the rootstock here instead of on top. But we'll talk to the customer to see if they want to continue to prune them this small or if they want to let them grow more natural. It won't compromise the bloom. They definitely will be bigger, so I want to make sure that's okay with the customer. But based on that, we're going to decide whether we're going to continue to prune them this way or let them get bigger. Okay, and I think that's it for this property. It goes a little bit over here. So a lot of these carpet roses that have been just allowed to get really big, these really should be cut down. I mean, half their size in the winter time, so they're not so woody on the inside. So we're going to be focusing on that as well. All right, I think this video has been long enough. One more lawn area right here, so I'm just going to end it. That's it.